Welcome to this shamanic forecast for September 2025. My name's Joanna Joy, and I'm really pleased to be here with you today. As I mentioned in the last shamanic forecast for August, this is quite a new project for me, so I'm just allowing it to unfold and unravel as it wants to. I had originally thought that this would be more about information, but when I channeled last month's forecast, there was a lot of healing in there. So, I have no idea what's going to come through when I do live channeling. So, it's a bit of a mystery, and we will see what comes through today. So just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I'm a shamanic practitioner and teacher, and I've been doing that work for a long time, for like 15 to 20 years, as well as other types of energy healing practices as well. And so I was guided to start this as a regular monthly broadcast, really to help people who are interested in shamanic work or who want to receive information from my shamanic guides and from source, to just help us navigate this pretty crazy world that we're living in at the minute. So really that's the intention behind these forecasts. But as I discovered last month, this is not just about information. There may well be good, strong healing coming through as well. And really the intention is to help us as a collective, as a human collective on this earth, to receive whatever we need for the month ahead that will help us to navigate each month in question in the best way possible. So with all of that said, I'm going to dive in. I'm quite curious to see what's going to come through as well today. Like I said, it's a bit of a mystery, so we'll see what comes through. I always channel with a mask on because I find it helps me to go inwards and to see and vision. So I'm going to take my glasses off. I'm going to put my fluffy cat mask on, and I'm going to repeat the intention for this journey 3 times. So my intention is to take a shamanic journey to call upon my healing allies to come and bring through whatever information or healing is needed by the collective, for the month of September 2025. My intention is to take a shamanic journey to call upon my healing allies, my shamanic allies, to come and bring through whatever information or healing is needed for the collective, the human collective, in the month of September 2025. My intention is to take a shamanic journey to call upon my healing allies, my shamanic guides, to come through and bring whatever information or healing is needed for the human collective for the month of September 2025. This is the intention for the work today. Okay, so what I can see first of all is an umbrella. It's like a big, dark umbrella, like a black umbrella, quite big, like the big golfing umbrellas that you get. Okay, talk to me about this umbrella, please. Right, they're saying to me that this is an umbrella of darkness. That's kind of indicated by the color of it, which is black. What else do you want to tell me about this umbrella of darkness? That there are forces at work in our world that seek to suck the life and the joy out of us. That this umbrella is a shade, a barrier, an obstacle to us receiving light from the universe. That it keeps us in shadow, it keeps us in shade. It stops us from, receiving light and life and healing and joy and all the good stuff, basically. Okay, what are we going to do about this umbrella? Remove it. Yes, clearly it needs removing. Okay, and what process are we going to use, or which allies wish to come through? Right, I've got a cobra. She is a white cobra. She's coming in here like this with her hood up, and this cobra is She has many functions. And so I'm going to ask you, Cobra, what is the function that you're bringing today, please? What is the gift or the purpose that you are bringing today to disintegrate and dissipate this umbrella? Okay. All right, so this ally of mine, this white cobra, sometimes she brings blessings, but sometimes she uses her cobra venom, her poison, to break down things that do not serve us. So she will bite stuff, and the venom moves through these structures, systems, energies that are detrimental, that are harmful, that are restrictive, oppressive, repressive in whatever way. So, white cobra, go to work, please. Right, I can see that she's coiling up the handle of the umbrella. It's like she's inside the umbrella. She's opening her mouth wide, she's opening her fangs, and she's biting it right at the top, right at like the top of the stem of the handle of the umbrella. Right, I can see now that the umbrella has kind of like flashes of white going through it, moving through it. These flashes of white are particularly going down the like the struts, the structural struts that hold the shade in place, that hold the fabric in place. So it's like the venom is destroying the metallic or the solid structure of the umbrella, both the stem, the handle, but also the spokes that are the framework, basically. So her venom is going into the framework and it's flashing white. And this is kind of indicating to me that her venom is dissolving the solid structure of this shade item, this umbrella. Okay, now I can see a lot of light above that's shining down. Okay, it's all kind of gone a bit blank now. What do you want to show me next? Right, she's back again, my cobra. She's opening her mouth. What are you going to bite now? Where are you directing your venom to now? Right, she's saying, now I'm going to dissolve other structures of oppression. And what I can see is it's almost like concrete square buildings of a cityscape skyline. But she's huge in comparison to these buildings. Like she's like some kind of Godzilla cobra, you know, she's massive. And she's kind of moving her way through this very drab, very grey cityscape. It's like she's looking for something, like she's searching out. And I can see her kind of coming above the buildings and looking above the buildings, and she's still got her hood up, you know, which indicates to me that she's on guard. She's preparing to strike. But she's searching out. She's being quite specific. She's looking for something specific or a specific place. What are you looking for? The hub, she said. I'm looking for the hub, the center of the shadow government. Okay, she's looking for the center of the shadow government. Now, I'm very aware that I'm putting this out on YouTube, and I may have to start being quite careful with my terminology at this point, because I don't want to get censored and shut down, which, you know, I'm already quite shadow banned as it goes. So I'm going to be cautious with my terminology from this point on. And the cobra is saying, yes, it's time to go stealth. It's time to go stealth. And so she's kind of like ducking down between the buildings now, and she's moving again through this cityscape, through this, you know, it's like urban civilization. but she's searching, she's seeking. Okay. Now she's found a drain. She's found like a drain, and she's going into the drain. So she's no longer up in the sky. She's no longer up at the tops of the buildings. She's going underground. She's going into the earth, underneath the level of the earth. And she's saying to me, you can't follow me now. You can't follow me now because this is the stealth mission. Okay. So, what I can take from this is that she dealt with the structure that was above. This umbrella was shielding us as humans on this earth from the light coming down from the heavens, from the sky, from the universe. And she destroyed that. So she was destroying the structures of the as above that were shadow structures that were created and intended to cast shade and keep us in darkness. And now she's going underground, and she's going to do the same thing under the earth. It's an interesting thing when I'm working with my guides. Sometimes they show me what's going on, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they take me on the journey. Sometimes they say to me, right, you just stay here, I'll be back in a bit. And that's very much what's going on here with my cobra who's going down into the earth. She's on a secret mission. Okay. We don't need to know where she's going. We don't need to know what she's doing, but she's off to do her work, to dismantle the structures that disconnect us from the earth realm, that keep us in shade and shadow from the so below. So we've done the as above. Now she's working on the so below. And, I think it's worth remembering and understanding that so much of the hidden mechanisms of our oppression on this planet, on this earth, are below our feet. Whether it's the secret bunkers, the secret cities that are under the earth, and there are many of those, secret transport routes which run underneath continents and underneath oceans. There is a huge amount going on underneath us that is designed to keep us enslaved, that is designed to keep us restricted, repressed, oppressed, and prevent us from having access to the light from within the earth. Okay, so I'm being told to share with you a Mayan concept. I live in Guatemala, and I live amongst the indigenous Mayan people, and I'm blessed to witness, observe, and participate in this Mayan culture every day on a daily basis. And there is a concept within Mayan traditional spirituality, which is the heart of the sky, or the heart of the heavens, and the heart of the earth. And really, we understand these two realms of the heart of the heavens and the heart of the earth. They call them the corazón del cielo, which is the heart of the heavens or the sky, and the corazón de la tierra, which is the heart of the earth, as the kind of anchor points, really, the anchor points of our connection to God, our connection to spirituality. And we are the bridge in between. We are the connection between those 2 points. And it strikes me as an interesting parallel that my white cobra ally, who is coming in today as the main guide and the main ally for today's work and today's transmission, she is restoring our access to the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth by biting and injecting her venom into those structures of the as above and the so below, which are keeping us held in shadow and shade. So really, that's the work today. It's about reconnecting us to the light of the heavens and the light of the earth, reconnecting us to the heart of the heavens, to the heart of the earth, reconnecting us to the soul of the heavens and the soul of the earth. And within shamanic culture, tradition, and conceptualization, The sky is very much the domain of the divine masculine, the father figure of God, the all father, the Wakantanka, great spirit. He goes by many names in many different cultures, but he is the patriarchal, paternal father aspect of the creator. And the earth, in so many cultures, so many traditional indigenous shamanic cultures, is the mother aspect, is the mother archetype, is the mother energy of the creator. She is the feminine, divine mother aspect, the nurturer, the nourisher, and the sky father is the protector and the provider and the seeder. And so we have here within today's work, really white cobra is coming in to dissolve and dismantle those structures that prevent us from accessing great spirit of the as above, the sky father, all father, and that prevents us from accessing the great mother, the earth mother, the Pachamama, Gaia, underneath our feet and all around us on the earth, and what a beautiful thing to be allowed to reconnect to these aspects of our creator, of our mother and father God. Okay, thank you, allies. My cobra hasn't come back yet. She's off in the earth doing her thing, dissolving the structures that prevent us from connecting to Mother Earth and her love. That's a big part of what we are, what we have the right to receive from the earth frequency is love. Our mother loves us. Okay, thank you, allies. Is there anyone else who wishes to come through at this time? Anyone else who wants to come and assist in this work? Okay, I have a tree. It's like the world tree. It's almost like the tree that gives us access to the as above and the so below. In the shamanic tradition that I was trained in, one of the traditions that I was trained in, we refer to this as the Axis Mundi, but the world tree is present in many different shamanic cultures and indigenous traditions of the people of the earth. And so we have this huge big tree with its branches going up into the heavens, into the sky, and its big roots going down deep into the earth. And then I can see sitting in the branches of this tree an owl. Owl, what do you have to share with us, please? Right, this is an owl which is bringing through wisdom. This is the wisdom of God, of spirit, that is being offered to us through this world tree, through this connection into the as above and the so below, through this connection to the great father and the great mother. And so we're being offered this wisdom via the world tree and from the owl. Is there anything specific that you wish to tell us, please, owl? Anything that will help us, particularly through the month of September for 2025? We are in the midst of great changes. We are in the midst of big transitions. There are many coming and many going. There is so much shifting, so much chaos, so much turbulence. Humanity is being stirred. I can see like a big pot with, it's like humanity is the soup inside the pot, and we're being stirred. And all of our wounding and all of our shadow is rising to the surface, is bubbling to the surface of this pot of the human soup. An owl is saying we need to skim this off the top. It's like froth of it's toxic froth. It's not helpful. It's not helpful to us. It's not nutritious for us. And so as all of this as humanity is being stirred, as as the pot is bubbling and boiling, all of this like scourgy froth is coming to the top, and Owl is saying, let's just scoop that off, let's take the froth off, because we don't need that. We'll throw it in the compost bucket, we'll put it, we'll recycle it into something better, but for the time being it's not helpful while it's in our human soup. But we need to bubble it. So we need to bubble the human soup and stir it to bring out all this darkness so that we can clear it, so that we can get rid of it. And, so this is really about clearing our own inner shadows. So, serpent, the white cobra, came to dissolve the structures that prevent light from coming in from outside. But now we are being asked to focus on the shadow and the shade that's within ourselves. There is shadow and shade on outside of us, but there's also shadow and shade within us. And so as this human pot, this soup of humanity, is being bubbled and heated up and stirred and agitated, we see so much agitation happening in our world, don't we? In so many different ways. There are so many conflicts that we are being kind of divided over and polarized around, and we are being pitted against one another on so many different topics, so many different humanitarian issues, so many areas of human rights, or basic safety and peace, but we are living in times where there will be no peace. The pot is not still, it's not sitting cooling down, it's being bubbled and it's being stirred for the purpose of bringing our darkness out. So the message here is, try and see this process for what it is from a bigger picture. Try not to get overly caught up in the drama of it. When you see other people's shadow being brought to the surface, understand that your own shadow is also being brought to the surface. None of us are pure and enlightened. None of us are saints and angels. We all carry shadow from our own experiences of life. We carry shadows for our ancestors, for their traumas and their pains. We carry shadows from our own other incarnations and other lifetimes. And we are swimming within this soup of human shadow and shade, which is being bubbled and boiled and agitated and stirred, specifically with the intention of bringing it to the surface and scooping it out. Okay, so yes, there will be anger. That's part of the bubbling. That's part of the heating. It's the boiling of the frogs, isn't it? We are the frogs. We are the frogs that are being very slowly boiled in this pot. But try not to be so judgmental. That's really the message that's coming through here. It's easy to point fingers and point at everybody else and go, oh, they're the ones that are in the wrong. Oh, they're evil. They're the ones that need stopping. They're the ones, blah, 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 blah. But this boiling of the frogs is us too. We carry shade too. We have to look inside as well and not just point the fingers of blame at everybody else. And actually, when we do our own work to clear our own shadow and our own shade that bubbles up as part of this stirring, as part of this heating of the human soup, if we can look inside ourselves and clear our own shadow and shade, and if everybody can do that, if we can all take responsibility and be accountable for our own part in that toxic froth that's rising to the surface of the soup, it will work so much better, basically, because nothing will be resolved if we just carry on pointing fingers at everybody else and their shadow and shade. Really, it's not going to resolve anything. It's not going to solve anything. It just perpetuates. The stirring just continues. When we resolve our own shadow and shade, our own darkness that we're carrying within, then at some point we are kind of lifted out of this toxic soup of stirring and agitation, or the agitation no longer bothers us. And that's not to say that we shouldn't be compassionate. That's not to say that we shouldn't care for our other human beings. We absolutely should. But let me tell you, when you are massively triggered by the injustices in the world that you are shown every day in the media, when you have a very strong reaction to those injustices, it's normally because you are carrying some aspect of that pattern within your own frequency, within your own blueprint, within your own energy field. And once you clear that, once you do the work to actually heal that, resolve it and bring it to peace and release the trauma, release the pain, release the agitation, we come to peace within ourselves. And then we can be such a better force for bringing peace to humanity, because we're no longer triggered. We're no longer shouting. We're no longer, pointing fingers of blame at everybody else. That whole projecting outwards of saying it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault is a very good way of bypassing our own spiritual responsibility for our own healing. It's so easy to cast the blame at someone else whilst completely not taking responsibility for our own shit. So, more than anything, I think this part of this transmission is an invitation to accountability, self-responsibility, self-healing, sorting our own shit out. Because only when you're sorting your own shit out could you dare to point fingers of blame at anybody else and say that they should sort their shit out, right? Because if you're not sorting your own shit out, you have no moral standing. You have no moral high ground to tell everybody else that they need to be better and they need to be healed and they need to be perfect human beings. No, we all need to participate in this healing of humanity, and it starts with ourselves first. Right, I feel like that was quite a strong kind of pep talk there. I feel like it was quite a strong message to us all to look within, shift the focus from the outer world to the inner world, and understand that they're both relevant. We live in a reality where outer light and shadow are at play, and inner light and shadow are at play. And we have to be able to work between the two, but we cannot just focus on one aspect. We can't just focus on the light. We can't just focus on the shadow. We can't just focus on the outer reality, just like we can't just focus on the inner reality. And this is about balance. This is about bringing us into balance with the inner and the outer, with the as above and the so below, with shadow and shade, shadow and light. What we seek on the shamanic path always is balance, because we cannot be balanced if we're skewed in one direction more heavily than another. And so really this is a call to balance. Okay, thank you, allies. That was quite a strong channel there. Is there anything else that you wish to show me, bring through, tell us, show us? Anything else that we need to look at for the month of September 2025? No, that's everything. That's all for today. Okay. Thank you for this information. Thank you for this healing. Thank you for this transmission. Right then. So that was quite a strong message, wasn't it? Is there anything that I want to say about any of that? No, I think it's fairly self-explanatory, isn't it, really? I really liked the serpent, my cobra. I always do this when she comes through. It's like she's the cobra, isn't she? So she's just doing her thing, really releasing us and liberating us from these structures that keep us separated and restricted from the light of the heavens and from the light of the earth. So that's good. I think I get the sense that that's just going to be like ongoing through September, that she's just going to be doing her work and biting the structures that don't serve us, basically, so that they can dissolve, so that we can have greater and greater access to the light from the as above and from the so below, from the heavens and from the earth. Good. Right. So, it's quite a convenient segue, I would say, of the theme around self-accountability and personal healing. If you want to take a walk down that pathway of sorting your shit out, of clearing your own shadow and looking deep within, then if you want help with that, then I'm obviously here to help anybody that wants to take that journey from the shamanic perspective within a shamanic healing context. And I offer one-to-one shamanic healing sessions. I will put a link in the comment box below this video that you can, in the info box. If you want to book in, you can book in with me. I work with people all around the world. I have international clients all over the place. So I work through Zoom. We do online sessions as well as distance healing sessions. And also I have a number of different training courses coming up. Well, I have training courses that run all year round. But I have one particular one coming up, which is the Shamanic Practitioner online training. This is a 3-year apprenticeship to learn how to be a shamanic practitioner. But within that training, there is a lot of personal healing. Really, that's the place that we start, actually, is with personal healing for yourself. And this comes back to the concept of healer, heal thyself, working on yourself first, then your nearest and dearest, then the collective, then humanity, then whoever else wants it. So if you are interested, if you hear this calling, if your soul is hearing the call to want to learn how to heal yourself and others using shamanic healing techniques, therapeutic shamanic practices, then again, look in the info box below this video and you'll find a link. We start, my 3-year apprenticeship training course starts on the 13th of September. So we've got just under 2 weeks from when this video is going to be released at the beginning of September for you to sign up if you would like to. It is a powerful, transformative, thorough training course. And if that feels a bit too much, like too much of a big commitment, or like you don't want to throw yourself into shamanism that deep, I also, excuse me, I also have other training courses which will be coming up later on in the year, which are more beginner level and more for kind of personal enjoyment rather than professional training. So you can check out everything that I have to offer on my website, which is www.joannajoy.love, and see what I have to offer. There are all sorts of different interesting things on there, training courses, one-to-one healing, mentoring programs, and lots of free resources as well. Okay, sending you lots and lots of love for September 2025. I hope that this transmission, this forecast, this shamanic forecast is going to help you navigate September with as much grace and beauty as possible. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, that's all for today. Lots and lots of love to you all. Bye.